We had an idea that she was a bad driver when she crashed into a parked semi 2 weeks ago, almost killing herself and her young daughter. And then we looked at her driving record and saw that her license has been suspended. Get this, suspended 100 times. We knew she is one of the worst drivers plaguing the streets of New Mexico. Now here's the other amazing part of this. When she had that wreck a couple of weeks ago, she had a valid New Mexico driver's license. Matt Grubbs found out how that was even possible on tonight's special assignment.
The story of Angelique Pena Chavez on the Metro Court website is a long one. And from the jail, mugshot after mugshot, each one like a photo in a sad yearbook. Winter 2000, spring of 02, fall the same year, the very next day. 2006, 2007, 08, 09, 2010, and the latest entry. The I-40 crash police say it seems she caused last month when she slammed into a parked semi, severely injuring herself and her 10-year-old daughter. Police say Pena Chavez had hidden crack cocaine inside herself when she crashed into the semi. She is now charged with drug trafficking. Add that to a history that already includes a DWI, 14 speeding tickets, and stop after stop for running red lights, no seatbelts, failing to make sure her kids are buckled up, no insurance. The list goes on. But at the time of the crash, she still had a valid license, something the state says she can't brag about very often.
We have suspended her driver's license over 100 times since the early 1990s.
And as she keeps blowing off court following all those tickets and arrests, there are 151 bench warrants.
Hold on, how many bench warrants?
151.
Okay, Ms. Pena Chavez, that is the record for people who have appeared in my court. I've never had anyone with 151 bench warrants. Oh my God.
That's Metro Court Judge Daniel Ramczyk, who's heard a half dozen of her cases over the years, including one last month where he found her guilty of driving without headlights at 11 o'clock at night. Each time she doesn't pay the fine or show up to court for a ticket like that, her license gets suspended until she finally winds up in court again to do what the judge asks and pay a fee to get her license back. And then, as long as she does what she's being asked, as long as she pays those fines, even if she doesn't show up to court, she gets to drive and be out there again and again and again.
All we can do is suspend her driver's license. And to that extent, the law's working.
Because at MVD they know all too well the limitations of the law when it comes to traffic tickets. The law says that most tickets don't lead to jail time. They lead to fines. They can also lead to points. Get 12 of them on your license in 12 months and it's suspended. But that has never happened to Angelique Pena Chavez. In fact, she's only come remotely close to a point suspension twice.
As long as she keeps her points below 12, we can't do anything.
What about Metro Court judges? Well, the law says they can't do much more. They can suspend a license if a driver has more than 6 points and a record like Angelique Pena Chavez, but they can only yank that license for 3 months. The police, well, they can keep pulling her over, and as APD Traffic Commander Paul Hansen points out, they do.
So they're getting caught on a regular basis by different officers for different violations all the time.
But Pena Chavez keeps getting her license back, and even when it's suspended,
she's going to drive anyway. She's not going to say, I don't have a license, I can't drive.
More than 100 suspensions, 151 bench warrants, and a lifetime of mugshots means the next time you're on the road, Angelique Pena Chavez will probably be out there somewhere, too. On special assignment, Matt Grubbs, KRQE News 13.
What's also astounding and raises even more questions about this system, she has been caught driving on a suspended license more than 20 times. Pena Chavez still faces charges for the crash beyond the drug charges. Why did she have the crack hidden in her body? Well, police say she might be doing that because when she drives, she knows she's pulled over so often.